I drove my pregnant CEO to the hospital, and that's when she said, I was considering firing you. Towering structures reflected the light of Earth far below, and hovering transport ships moved between platforms in an endless, silent ballet. Inside one of those transport ships, Alex Harper sat tensely in the pilot's chair, staring at a console filled with blinking lights. Normally, he would have been relaxed, navigating the ship on autopilot with nothing to worry about. Today, though, was different. Alex, a voice called from behind him. It was sharp, precise, and carried the weight of authority. Do you know what time it is? Alex swallowed and turned around. Lena Vera, the CEO of Vera Corp, towered over him despite her pregnancy. She was 7 months along, her posture still straight, her sharp eyes assessing him like a predator sizing up prey. She held a small tablet in her hand, tapping at it impatiently. I think it's 1442, ma'am, Alex said carefully, trying to keep his voice steady. Exactly, Lena said, her voice clipped. And you are late, again. Do you have any idea how close we are to missing the board inspection window? Again, Alex, again. Alex felt a flush of heat on his cheeks. Being late in space might seem trivial. After all, orbit doesn't care about clocks. But in a corporate station like Etherian, timing was everything. Missed windows, delayed launches, and slow cargo transfers could mean millions lost. I'm sorry, ma'am, Alex said. The traffic from Docking Bay 7 was heavier than expected, and the guidance AI kept recalculating. Lena waved a hand. Excuses are irrelevant. Results matter. And so far, your results have been unsatisfactory. Alex nodded, though he kept his hands firm on the armrests. He had heard it before. Lena Vera had a reputation for firing employees on a whim, and he had narrowly escaped termination more than once. He didn't like her style, but he respected her brilliance. She had built Vera Corp from a small orbital startup into a megacorporation, controlling nearly half of the city's transport and energy networks. Suddenly, a sharp cry cut through the air. Alex whipped his head around to see Lena clutching her stomach. Her eyes widened, a flicker of pain crossing her face. Lena, are you? Alex started, panic rising. I think it's happening, she gasped. Happening? What do you mean? Alex asked, though part of him already feared the answer. My baby, Lena said, her voice trembling. It's Alex. The contractions, they're starting. Alex's heart skipped. This was not supposed to happen today, not during a transport run, not during a board inspection, and certainly not with him at the controls. He took a deep breath to calm himself. Okay, he said firmly. We'll get you to the hospital module, fastest route, I've got this. Lena's eyes narrowed, both in pain and suspicion. Fastest route, huh? You know, I was considering firing you just this morning. And now you're supposed to save me, Alex blinked. There it was, the same sharp remark that reminded him why he didn't quite trust Lena, even in emergencies. Ma'am, I just want you to be safe, he said, voice steady despite the sudden surge of adrenaline. Her lips pressed into a thin line. We'll see. He took a deep breath and flipped several switches. The transport ship hummed as the engines responded. Normally, the autopilot would handle everything. But now, with Lena in labor and the station's traffic corridor crowded, Alex would have to pilot manually. The first signs of trouble came almost immediately. A meteor storm, previously predicted to be light, suddenly intensified. Tiny fragments of rock and ice collided with the outer shields of the ship, sending vibrations through the cockpit. Warning lights flashed, and the automated navigation system began recalculating routes frantically. Alex, Lena cried, clutching the armrest. Are we going to make it? Alex's hands moved over the controls with practiced precision. Hold on, he said, trying to inject calm into his voice. I can handle this, just stay calm. She gritted her teeth but nodded. I hope so, because if we don't, I'm going to have more than just a bad day. The shuttle weaved between meteors, a dangerous dance of precision and speed. Every second felt like an hour. Alex could feel the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. If he made even a small mistake, it wouldn't just be his job on the line. It would be the life of the CEO and her child. As they dodged another cluster of debris, Alex noticed a strange flicker on the navigation screen. The path they were following seemed wrong. The autopilot had been overridden somewhere, sending them slightly off course. "Alex," Lena said, noticing the flicker. "What is that?" "I don't know," Alex admitted, frowning. "The AI seems to be malfunctioning, or someone might have tampered with it." Lena's eyes widened, and for a moment fear replaced her usual composed expression. "Sabotage," she whispered. Alex shook his head. "I'm not sure yet, but don't worry, we'll manage." He took manual control fully, relying on instincts and years of practice. While the AI calculated the perfect path, humans had something machines didn't: intuition. Alex knew the station's layout, the usual currents of orbital debris, and how a ship moved in zero gravity better than any program. The next few minutes were tense, a mixture of skilled maneuvers and near misses. Alex dodged spinning meteors, adjusted thrust to counter sudden turbulence, and kept his focus razor-sharp. Lena, meanwhile, gritted her teeth and followed his instructions, clutching her stomach with every jolt. "This is insane," she gasped, her voice strained. "And you're keeping us alive. You realize this, right?" Alex gave a small, almost nervous smile. "Just doing my job, ma'am, just doing my job." Her lips twitched, almost a smirk, though she didn't have the energy to say more. Instead, she took deep breaths, trusting him in the only way she could. Just as they approached the hospital module, another alarm blared. This time it wasn't debris. The docking systems were offline. The automated docking clamps refused to engage. Alex's heart skipped. Docking manually was dangerous under normal circumstances, but with Lena in labor and life support beginning to show signs of stress, it was critical. He adjusted the shuttle's thrusters, angling it carefully toward the docking bay. "Hold on," he said. "I can do this manually." Lena's voice was steady now, calm despite the pain. "Do it, Alex, I trust you. For what it's worth, you've already proven yourself more capable than I thought." Alex's hands moved in a blur, controlling thrust, orientation, and rotation simultaneously. The shuttle crept toward the docking bay like a careful spider climbing a web. Every inch mattered. Every miscalculation could mean disaster. Finally, with a gentle lurch, the shuttle touched down. Docking clamps engaged just enough to stabilize the ship. Alex exhaled, his body tense from the effort. Lena let out a shaky laugh, a mixture of relief and disbelief. "Well, you did it," she said. "You actually did it." Alex gave a small nod. "We're not out of danger yet," he reminded her, "but we made it here in one piece." Her eyes softened for a moment and she placed a hand on his shoulder. "You know, Alex, I was considering firing you this morning, but now I think I might keep you around." Alex blinked, surprised. Lena, who always spoke in harsh, calculated tones, had just complimented him in a moment of crisis. He didn't say anything. There wasn't time for words. All that mattered was that she was safe for now. As medics rushed aboard to help Lena to the hospital module, Alex felt a strange mix of relief and adrenaline. The shuttle had survived the storm, the AI sabotage, and the impossible docking. He had proven something, not just to Lena, but to himself. Humans could do extraordinary things when machines failed, and instincts mattered more than algorithms. For the first time, he thought, maybe Lena really did see him as more than just another employee to fire. Maybe he had finally earned her respect. And yet, as he watched the medics wheel her away, his sensors picked up a faint anomaly in the station's outer perimeter. Someone, or something, had tried to stop them. Alex felt a chill. This was only the beginning. Alex stood at the shuttle's controls, watching the docking clamps slowly disengage as medics wheeled Lena away. The hospital module's airlock sealed behind them with a hiss. Normally, he would have sighed in relief and allowed the autopilot to guide him back to the station's main hub. But his sensors were still picking up the anomaly. an unusual signal flickering on the edge of the station's perimeter. It was faint, almost imperceptible, yet deliberate. Someone had tampered with the shuttle's navigation systems, and judging by the timing, it was meant to end badly. Alex's stomach tightened. Not today, he muttered to himself. Humans had survived worse, and he wasn't about to let an invisible enemy succeed. He tapped the console and isolated the anomaly. The signal was moving, slow, calculated, like it was tracking him. Within seconds, he realized what it was: a small drone, likely corporate security or sabotage tech, designed to intercept ships. Great, Alex muttered. And here I thought today was just going to be a normal shift. A sharp vibration jolted the shuttle. On the monitor, a small panel had detached from the hull and was floating in the corridor outside. The drone had already started its attack sequence. Alex's mind raced. He could engage the ship's defense systems, but the shields were still weakened from the meteor storm and manual docking. A direct confrontation could damage the shuttle. He had only one choice: outsmart it. Alex activated the manual thrusters and nudged the shuttle toward the nearest maintenance corridor, a narrow path used for cargo transit and repairs. The drone was small but fast. Its sensors glinted in the artificial light as it followed. Alex tilted the shuttle sharply, skimming the edges of the corridor. Sparks flew as the drone fired, bouncing harmlessly off the shuttle's reinforced hull. Inside, Lena lay on a medical bed, monitored by medics. She was safe for now, but Alex knew he couldn't rely on the station's systems alone, not if someone had already tried to kill her. "This is insane," she muttered under her breath. Even though she was exhausted from labor, her sharp mind was already calculating possibilities. "Someone wants me dead, or at least, someone wants to delay me." Alex didn't answer. There was no time. He adjusted the shuttle's trajectory, taking it through twists and turns that only a human pilot could calculate on the fly. The drone followed relentlessly, trying to match his movements. A sudden alarm blared. "Warning, navigation system error, manual override recommended." Alex's jaw tightened. "That's exactly what I'm doing." He leaned over the controls, using instincts instead of algorithms. Every movement was precise, deliberate. He could feel the shuttle's weight shift in the microgravity environment, anticipate momentum before it happened, and use it to his advantage. The drone fired again, a laser-like beam bouncing harmlessly off the hull. But Alex knew it wouldn't be long before a hit could cause critical damage. He needed a plan, something more clever than just evasive maneuvers. He scanned the maintenance corridor. There was an open cargo bay just ahead, large enough to hide a shuttle temporarily. He could lure the drone inside, then use the shuttle's thrusters to slam the airlock doors, trapping it. "Okay," he muttered. "Let's see if you can think like a human." Alex guided the shuttle carefully into the cargo bay. The drone followed, flying confidently as if it already knew the plan, but humans could anticipate mistakes. At the last second, Alex angled the shuttle sharply, activating the magnetic clamps on the bay floor. The drone collided with the force field, spinning out of control. Sparks flashed and it tumbled into a corner, immobilized. "Ha," Alex said, exhaling. "That's how it's done." Inside the shuttle, he allowed himself a brief moment to relax, but there was no time for celebration. Whoever had sent the drone would have more tricks. And judging by the sophistication of the attack, this was professional. Alex checked the navigation system. The autopilot was still compromised, though he had managed to override some critical functions manually. He had no idea how much longer he could keep it stable. He decided to head back toward the station's main hub, where he could access the central control network and hopefully trace the source of the sabotage. The shuttle hummed as he guided it along the orbital lanes, avoiding cargo ships and automated transports. Suddenly, another signal appeared on his sensors, a larger ship, cloaked but visible through the shuttle's thermal scanner. It was approaching fast, its trajectory perfectly aligned with his shuttle. Alex's heart pounded. This was no longer just a drone. Someone or something was serious about stopping him. He considered his options. Engaging the larger ship head-on would be suicidal. Trying to outrun it in straight flight would likely fail. He needed to use the station's environment to his advantage. His eyes flicked to a nearby debris field, left over from a decommissioned satellite cluster. It was risky, but he had no other choice. Alex angled the shuttle toward the field, weaving between broken panels, floating solar arrays, and spinning wreckage. The larger ship followed, but its size made maneuvering slower. Alex's hands flew over the controls. Each movement had to be perfect. One slip and the shuttle would collide with a fragment. But his training, instincts, and quick thinking kept the shuttle moving. Behind him, the larger ship fired, but the energy beams scattered harmlessly against the debris, missing their target. Alex grinned, adrenaline surging. Humans had something no machine could replicate: creativity in the moment. He took a sharp turn, using the shuttle's thrusters to swing around a massive panel, then activated a hidden vent system. The vent sucked the pursuing ship into a temporary magnetic trap, spinning it uncontrollably. For a moment, Alex allowed himself a victorious smile. Then he remembered Lena. She had told him to protect the baby, to get her to safety. This wasn't just about survival, it was about proving that humans could outthink machines. He adjusted the shuttle's course again. The hospital module was the destination, but the path was no longer simple. He had to dodge more traffic, more debris, and possibly more saboteurs. But Alex felt a strange surge of confidence. He had survived the meteor storm, evaded the drone, and outmaneuvered a larger ship. Humans were capable of extraordinary feats when they refused to rely solely on machines. Inside the shuttle, his mind raced with possibilities. Who had tried to sabotage Lena? Corporate rivals. Someone inside Vera Corp. And why now, during her labor? The questions swirled, but Alex had no time to ponder them. He had to focus on the immediate task: keep the shuttle intact, keep Lena safe, and deliver her to the hospital module alive. As he guided the shuttle through another narrow passage, a sudden alert flashed on the console. Proximity warning, unidentified craft approaching. Alex's heart skipped a beat. Another attacker. He quickly scanned the area. The craft was small, fast, and heading straight for him. He took a deep breath. This was it, the moment when instincts mattered more than anything. Alex tilted the shuttle, using gravity and thrusters to weave unpredictably. The small craft fired, but Alex anticipated every move, dodging each attack with precision. Finally, he found a narrow maintenance shaft leading to the hospital module, too small for the pursuing craft but just big enough for the shuttle. Alex guided the ship carefully inside. The small attacker slammed into the sides, unable to follow. He exhaled, allowing himself a brief moment of relief. The shuttle emerged into the open docking corridor, intact but battered. The hospital module's lights shone ahead, welcoming him. Alex's hands were steady now, his breathing controlled. He had done it. Inside, Lena's medical team prepared for the next stage of her labor. Alex knew he had delayed the attackers long enough for her to be safe, at least temporarily. He had proven that human skill, intuition, and courage could triumph where machines alone might fail. As he guided the shuttle to a secure docking bay, Alex couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning. Someone had deliberately tried to stop him, and whoever it was would not give up easily. But Alex was ready. Humans had survived the impossible before, and they would do it again. And as he docked the shuttle safely, he realized something else. Lena's earlier words echoed in his mind. "I was considering firing you." Perhaps now, she had begun to see the value of someone who could think, act, and survive when machines faltered. The shuttle doors sealed with a hiss. Outside, the station continued its silent orbit, unaware of the chaos that had unfolded just beyond its walls. Alex leaned back, exhausted but resolute. The fight was far from over, but for now he had won. And in the depths of space, humans were proving once again that they could rise above any challenge, even against the cold logic of machines. Alex sat in the pilot's chair, his hands still trembling slightly from the adrenaline of the past hours. The shuttle's systems were stable now, and the hospital module's docking bay lights glowed ahead. For the first time, he allowed himself a brief moment to breathe, but peace was fleeting. His sensors continued to flicker, picking up traces of unusual energy signatures around the station. The sabotage wasn't random. Someone had carefully planned this. "Alex," Lena's voice came over the comm link, calm but firm. "I need an update. Are you safe? Is the shuttle okay?" Alex tapped the console. "Shuttle is intact, docked safely. No immediate threats inside the bay, but someone tried to stop us, and I think they're still out there." There was a pause. "Out there?" Lena asked, concern evident. "How do you know? Small drones, a cloaked ship." "Both following us. Someone tried to manipulate the autopilot and the docking system was sabotaged," Alex explained. "It wasn't an accident, this was deliberate." Lena's voice hardened. "Then we have a problem," Alex nodded. "Yes, and I need to find out who did it. We can't take chances. Not anymore." Inside the hospital module, medics were finishing stabilizing Lena after the delivery. The baby, a healthy girl, was asleep in a small incubator, monitored closely. Lena, exhausted but alert, looked at Alex as he entered the module. "You've done well, Alex," she said, her sharp tone softened by exhaustion and gratitude. "I didn't think anyone could navigate a shuttle through a meteor storm, evade drones, and dock manually. Yet here you are." Alex shrugged, trying to appear modest. "Just doing what needed to be done." Lena smiled faintly. "You know, I was considering firing you this morning. I might have been wrong." Alex's lips twitched. "I'm glad to hear that, ma'am." But Lena's smile faded. Her expression turned serious. "We need to figure out who tried to stop us. If this was sabotage, it's not just about the shuttle. It could be bigger: corporate rivals, internal threats. Someone doesn't want me alive, or at least doesn't want my work to continue." Alex felt a chill. He had suspected as much, but hearing it confirmed made the danger real. "Then we need proof, and we need to act fast before they try again." Lena nodded. "Can you trace the anomalies, the drones, the cloaked ship, the system overrides?" "I can try," Alex said. "But I'll need access to the station's central control network. That's heavily secured, and anyone inside could be watching." "Then we'll go together," Lena said firmly. "I trust you, Alex. You saved my life, but we need to find out who's behind this before they strike again." Alex hesitated. Lena was still recovering and the baby needed care, but her resolve was clear. She would not let fear stop her, and he could not abandon her now. "Okay," he said. "Let's do it." The journey to the central control network was tense. The station's corridors were empty, lights flickering occasionally. Alex guided Lena carefully, aware of every sound and shadow. Though the station seemed calm, he knew better. Saboteurs often worked silently, blending into the environment until it was too late. As they reached the entrance to the control network hub, Alex tapped in his override credentials. The door opened with a hiss, revealing a room filled with holographic consoles, monitors, and blinking lights. The hum of the systems was almost soothing, if you ignored the fact that someone might already be trying to hack them. Alex quickly accessed the navigation logs, tracing the anomalies from the shuttle's flight. Every maneuver, every override, every unexpected signal was recorded. He scanned the data carefully. "There," he said, pointing at a series of encrypted commands. "These overrides weren't random. Someone injected them remotely, timed perfectly to coincide with our shuttle's path." Lena leaned closer, her eyes sharp. "Can you trace the source?" "I can try," Alex said. He started running a complex diagnostic sequence, following the data trail through layers of encryption. Minutes passed. The monitors flickered, displaying a trail of code, signatures, and anomalies. Finally, Alex froze. "Got it," he said. "The source, it's inside the station. Internal. Someone with access to navigation systems and security protocols." Lena's eyes narrowed. "Internal. That means someone we trust or someone pretending to be trustworthy." Alex nodded. "Exactly, and that's dangerous. If they know we're investigating, they might strike again. We need a plan." Lena's expression hardened. "Then we'll need allies, people we can trust, and we'll have to act carefully. One wrong move and this station becomes a trap." Alex agreed. "I know someone, Security Officer Kale. He's discreet, loyal, and capable. If anyone can help us navigate this safely, it's him." "Then contact him," Lena said. "But be careful, I don't want more surprises." Alex tapped into his comlink and sent a secure message to Kale detailing the situation. Within moments, Kale's holographic image appeared in front of them. His face was tense but calm, eyes scanning the room quickly. "Alex, Lena," Kale said, "I got your message." "Sounds like things escalated." "You could say that," Alex replied. "We need help. Someone inside the station sabotaged the shuttle and we traced the signal here. We need to find out who it is before they strike again." Kale nodded. "I can run internal security scans and cross-check personnel access logs. It won't be easy if they covered their tracks, but I'll do my best." Lena spoke, her voice calm but commanding. "We also need a contingency plan. If the saboteur is armed or dangerous, we can't confront them blindly. Alex, I want you to keep the shuttle ready. Kale, you run scans. I'll coordinate from here and oversee the hospital module." Alex felt a surge of admiration. Despite everything, Lena's mind was already 2 steps ahead, balancing concern for her child with strategic thinking. Humans weren't just survivors. They were planners, thinkers, and adapters. Minutes passed. Kale's holographic interface flickered as data streamed in. "I've narrowed it down," he said. 3 individuals had access to the navigation overrides during your shuttle's flight. 2 are station engineers, unlikely suspects, but 1 is a high-level administrator, someone with influence and clearance. I think that's our culprit." Lena's eyes narrowed. "An administrator, someone who could hide in plain sight. That explains the precision. They knew the shuttle's path, the timing, even the docking protocols." Alex leaned over the console. "If they're that smart, they might anticipate our moves. We need to be careful. Confronting them directly could be dangerous." Kale nodded. "Agreed, but we can't wait too long. If they realize we've traced the sabotage, they'll strike again, and this time it could be fatal." Lena's hands rested on the edge of the console. "Then we need a controlled trap, something that forces them to reveal themselves without putting the baby or station at risk." Alex thought for a moment. "We could stage a false shuttle launch, make it seem like we're moving Lena or the baby again. Whoever tries to interfere will reveal themselves." Lena's eyes sparkled with determination. "Exactly. Humans are unpredictable, but saboteurs rely on patterns. If we create a false pattern, we can draw them out." Kale nodded. "I'll set up surveillance along the shuttle routes and the maintenance corridors. Any unauthorized movement will be detected." Over the next hour, the team prepared. Alex checked the shuttle systems, ensuring everything was operational. Lena coordinated with medical staff, keeping the baby safe while creating the illusion of an imminent transfer. Kale monitored every corridor, every access point, and every security feed. As the trap was set, tension hung heavy in the air. Everyone knew that a single mistake could cost them dearly. The saboteur was smart, patient, and well-placed, but humans had one advantage they could never anticipate: intuition. Alex adjusted the shuttle's thrusters, simulating movement while remaining docked. Lena stayed in the hospital module, her presence convincing any observer that she and the baby were being prepared for relocation. Kale monitored feeds, eyes sharp for any anomaly. Then, it happened. A faint flicker appeared on one of the security feeds, movement in a restricted corridor. The saboteur had taken the bait. Kale's voice was steady. Got it. They're coming, preparing to intercept the shuttle. Alex's fingers hovered over the controls. Every muscle was tense, every sense alert. This was the moment of truth. Lena's voice came through the comm. Stay calm. Remember, humans think differently. They'll act based on patterns, but we can adapt. Be ready. The saboteur appeared on the feed, a tall figure moving with purpose, unaware of the cameras hidden along the walls. Alex could see their approach, predict their path. Humans were improvisers, masters of adaptation. This saboteur was smart, but Alex and Lena were sharper, working together. As the figure reached the shuttle bay, Alex activated a silent alert system, locking certain access points and guiding the saboteur into a controlled corridor. Kale monitored remotely, ready to intervene if necessary. The saboteur paused, scanning the shuttle, trying to understand the anomaly. Alex grinned, feeling the thrill of the hunt. This was a battle of wits, a test of human ingenuity against deceit and sabotage. Inside, Lena's voice was calm but commanding. Now, Alex, move. Alex adjusted the shuttle's thrusters, creating a subtle distraction that forced the saboteur further into the trap. Every move was precise, every calculation deliberate. The saboteur had underestimated humans, our ability to improvise, adapt, and anticipate. And in that moment, Alex knew one thing: humanity would not be outsmarted so easily. The controlled corridor was silent except for the hum of the station's life support systems. Alex's eyes never left the monitor showing the saboteur moving closer to the shuttle bay. Every step the intruder took was predictable to him now. Humans could anticipate patterns, improvise instantly, and adapt in ways machines, or even careful saboteurs, couldn't. Alex, Lena's voice came through the comm link, calm but precise. Remember, this isn't just about catching them. It's about keeping the baby and the station safe. One mistake and we lose everything. Alex nodded, though she couldn't see him. Understood. I've got it under control. Kale's holographic image appeared in front of Alex, flickering slightly as he monitored the security feeds. I've locked down all other corridors. The saboteur has nowhere else to go. You've got a clear path for the trap. Alex took a deep breath. The saboteur paused mid-step, scanning the shuttle, unaware that every move had been anticipated. Inside the shuttle, Alex activated subtle lighting and venting sequences to simulate shuttle movement. The saboteur's sensors would pick it up, reinforcing the illusion that the shuttle and Lena were about to be relocated. On the monitors, Alex could see the saboteur's hesitation. Then, slowly, deliberately, the intruder advanced toward the false shuttle. "This is it," Alex whispered under his breath. "The moment of truth." He tapped a console, silently alerting Kale. "Prepare to engage the containment protocol." Kale's eyes narrowed. "Ready. Once they enter the corridor, there's no turning back." The saboteur reached the end of the corridor, stopping in front of the shuttle. A concealed panel opened, revealing a control interface. The intruder's fingers moved quickly over the holographic controls, attempting to override the shuttle's systems remotely. Alex clenched his fists. Not today. He adjusted the shuttle's thrusters to emit small magnetic pulses, interfering with the intruder's tools. Sparks flashed, and the saboteur cursed under their breath. They weren't expecting resistance from the shuttle itself, only from humans who were thought to be predictable. Lena's voice cut through. "Alex, now." With a precise tap, Alex triggered the corridor's automated magnetic locks, sealing the intruder inside. The saboteur's escape route was gone. They pounded on the doors, attempting to force them open, but the reinforced locks held firm. "Got them," Kale said, relief barely hiding in his voice. "We've got visual confirmation. They're trapped." Alex exhaled, adrenaline still pumping. "Good, now let's see what we're dealing with." The security monitors showed the intruder's face. It was a high-level administrator, tall, imposing, with sharp features and eyes that held a cold intelligence. Someone who had trusted access to every shuttle, corridor, and system in the station. Someone who had calculated the timing perfectly. Lena's eyes narrowed. I should have expected someone with authority. They'd know how to exploit the station's systems, hide tracks, and manipulate others. But they underestimated human intuition. Alex nodded. And that's what cost them. Kale activated the communicator in the corridor. You are trapped. Stop any attempt to override the system and surrender. Resistance will be futile. The intruder glared at the cameras, realization dawning. You think this is over? Do you know who I am? You're just pawns in a larger game. Alex smiled faintly. We're humans, we improvise. We adapt, and sometimes that's more than enough. The intruder's fingers darted across the console, trying to bypass the magnetic locks. Sparks flew, and a low hum filled the corridor as the security systems resisted every attempt. Kale, status? Alex asked. All attempts to override are failing. The magnetic locks are holding. They can't escape, Kale confirmed. Inside the shuttle, Alex monitored the situation while keeping systems ready. Every thruster, every lock, every vent sequence was under his control. The saboteur was trapped and the shuttle remained safe. Lena's voice was calm but firm. We need information. Why sabotage the shuttle? Why now? The administrator's expression twisted in frustration. You think you can stop me? This station, this company, is mine to control. I cannot fail. The CEO, the shuttle, the baby, all obstacles in my path. Alex frowned. Obstacles? You tried to kill them. That's more than ambition. That's criminal. Ambition, the saboteur said coldly. Humans are predictable. Machines are predictable. Only control matters. I will remove threats before they remove me. Lena stepped closer to the comm link. You miscalculated. Humans are not predictable. We adapt. We survive. And right now you are contained. You cannot win. For a moment, silence filled the corridor. The administrator's face tightened in anger, realizing the trap was flawless. Alex had anticipated every move, Kale had secured the corridors, and Lena's strategic coordination left no room for error. Then, unexpectedly, the saboteur spoke again. If I'm trapped here, others will know. They will retaliate. You've only delayed the inevitable. Alex's eyes narrowed. Then we prepare for them. Humans are never alone when we adapt. If they strike, we strike back. You'll find that ingenuity, teamwork, and intuition are more powerful than any plan you think is perfect. The intruder scowled, trapped and frustrated. Alex had proven the point. One human, thinking clearly and acting decisively, could counter even the most calculated sabotage. Lena, Alex said, turning to the CEO, we need to ensure the station is secure and that no one else has similar access. This was close. Too close. Lena nodded. Agreed. Kale, run full system audits. Alex, coordinate shuttle and maintenance surveillance. I'll oversee the operation and make sure medical staff are safe. The baby comes first. Kale activated multiple automated drones to monitor corridors, entrances, and docking bays. Each drone had AI-assisted detection, but Alex adjusted the system manually, creating unpredictability in patrol patterns. No machine or human could anticipate the paths entirely. Alex felt a surge of satisfaction. Humans had adapted, improvised, and outsmarted the saboteur. Machines alone could not do what his instincts and decisions had accomplished in minutes of chaos. As they worked, Lena's gaze fell on the baby. Safe, she whispered. Thanks to you, Alex. Alex smiled faintly. We're not done yet, but this was a start. Hours passed as the station's systems were secured. The saboteur remained trapped, and evidence of sabotage was collected. Kale documented everything, ensuring that the administrator would face justice. Lena finally allowed herself to rest, exhausted but confident. Today proved something important, she said softly. Humans are unpredictable, adaptable, and courageous. Machines can assist, but in the end, human instinct wins. Alex nodded. We proved it, but there's always more out there. This wasn't the only threat. It's just the one we caught in time. Lena's eyes sparkled with resolve. Then we stay ready, and we make sure nothing threatens this station or this baby again. Alex looked out the window of the hospital module, staring at the stars beyond. He felt a mixture of pride and vigilance. Humans had survived the storm, the sabotage, and the chase, and as long as humans could think, adapt, and act together, no challenge was impossible. The saboteur remained trapped, a reminder that intelligence and planning alone could not overcome ingenuity, courage, and human teamwork. And as the station continued its silent orbit around Earth, Alex, Lena, and Kale prepared for whatever might come next. They had won today, but the universe was vast, full of threats, challenges, and mysteries. And humans, unpredictable, adaptable, and resilient, would face them all. For now, they had survived. For now, humanity had triumphed. The orbital city of Etherian shimmered quietly in the void of space. From the observation deck of the hospital module, Alex Harper looked out at the glowing spires, the transport lanes, and the endless stars beyond. It had been a long, exhausting day. Yet, the tension that had gripped him for hours had finally eased. The saboteur was securely trapped in the containment corridor, monitored by Kale and station security. Evidence of the sabotage had been collected, logged, and transmitted to the corporate council. Justice, it seemed, would be swift. Alex leaned against the observation window, allowing himself a rare moment of reflection. He had piloted a shuttle through a meteor storm, evaded drones and cloaked ships, docked manually in a critical moment, and finally helped catch a saboteur who had threatened the station, the CEO, and her newborn child. Lena's voice came softly from behind him. "You know, Alex, I think you may have officially earned your place here." Alex turned, surprised. "You really mean that?" Lena smiled faintly, though exhaustion lined her face. "I do. Today you proved something important, not just skill, but judgment, courage, and resourcefulness. Traits that no machine, no protocol, no algorithm can replace. Humanity wins when we act, adapt, and think for ourselves. You proved that." Alex felt a warmth in his chest. Recognition from Lena Vera, the woman who had once considered firing him, meant more than he could say. He nodded, trying to stay humble. "Thank you, ma'am. I just did what needed to be done." "Needed to be done," Lena echoed softly. "Alex, you did more than that. You saved lives today. Mine, the babies, the stations. You didn't just follow protocol, you improvised, adapted, and made decisions when machines and rules failed. That is invaluable." He smiled faintly. "I guess humans still have an edge." "Exactly," Lena said, her eyes glinting. "And don't forget it. You might be underestimated, but today proved you're irreplaceable." Kale's voice interrupted their moment. "Alex, Lena, the saboteur has admitted to everything under containment questioning. They tried to take control of the station to manipulate resources and block your shuttle. All evidence points to deliberate sabotage. The corporate council will handle prosecution. You've done your duty and done it brilliantly." Alex exhaled. The relief was almost physical. The danger was over for now and the station was secure. Lena walked over to the incubator where her newborn daughter slept peacefully. "Safe," she whispered. "Thanks to you, Alex." Alex glanced at the baby. Tiny hands curled in sleep, eyes closed, oblivious to the chaos that had unfolded mere hours ago. "It was a team effort," he said. "You and Kale both played crucial roles too." Lena's smile widened. "Perhaps. But without your human judgment, creativity, and courage, none of it would have mattered. Today, we proved something important. No AI, no protocol, no machine, even if sophisticated, can replace human ingenuity when it matters most." Alex felt a surge of pride. It wasn't just about surviving. It wasn't just about catching the saboteur. It was about proving the enduring strength of humans, our ability to think, adapt, and overcome when the odds seemed impossible. For a moment, he allowed himself to enjoy the victory. The shuttle was safe. Lena and her baby were safe. The station's integrity was preserved. Humans had triumphed once again, but even as the celebration settled, Alex's instincts remained alert. He had learned today that danger often came from unexpected places, and preparation was key. He turned to Lena. "Do you think this is over?" he asked. Lena shook her head. "In space, nothing is ever truly over. Threats come and go, sometimes silently, sometimes with force. But we've shown that we can respond. We've shown that humans are adaptable, resilient, and capable. We'll face whatever comes next together." Kale nodded. "I've already started enhanced monitoring across the station. Any unusual signals, movements, or anomalies will be flagged immediately. We won't be caught off guard again." Alex smiled faintly. "Good. Because today taught me that relying solely on systems isn't enough. We need human intuition, human adaptability, human judgment." "Exactly," Lena said. "Humans make mistakes, yes, but we also improvise, innovate, and survive. That is our greatest strength." For the first time that day, Alex felt a sense of calm. The shuttle had been docked, the saboteur secured, and the baby safe. The storm of chaos had passed and humans had prevailed. The station's AI systems, once sabotaged and unreliable, now hummed normally. Alex ran final diagnostics on the shuttle, ensuring every system was fully operational. Manual overrides had been tested and perfected. Every precaution had been taken. Humans had ensured that no machine or saboteur could defeat them this time. Lena placed a hand on Alex's shoulder. Today wasn't just about survival, it was about proving something bigger. Humans still matter. Our decisions, our courage, our creativity, they can save lives when all else fails. And today we saved many. Alex felt a deep sense of fulfillment. "I never doubted it," he said, "but today was proof." Outside, the orbital city of Etherian glowed against the void of space. Transport ships moved along designated lanes, automated drones monitored traffic, and life went on as usual. But Alex knew that humanity's role in this world, in this station, and in space itself was far from over. Humans were explorers, thinkers, and survivors, ever adaptable, ever inventive, and always capable of triumph against the odds. Kale spoke up, breaking the quiet. "Alex, I suggest you get some rest. Lena, you and the baby need it too. Tomorrow, the council will review everything and the station will resume normal operations. But for tonight, you've all earned peace." Alex nodded. Exhaustion tugged at him, but it was a good exhaustion, the kind that came after a day of real accomplishment. As he prepared to leave the observation deck, Lena called him back. "Alex, one last thing." He turned. "Yes, ma'am. I want you to remember something. Today proved that humans can overcome anything if we act together, if we think creatively, and if we refuse to give up. You've earned my trust, my respect, and your place in this station's future. Don't forget it." Alex's chest swelled with pride. "I won't," he said firmly. Lena smiled. "Good, because the future is wide open, and humans were the ones who will shape it." He looked out at the stars again, infinite, vast, and full of challenges. And yet, for the first time, Alex felt an unshakable confidence. Humans were unpredictable, adaptable, and strong. No matter what dangers came, from space storms, rogue AI, or sabotage, human ingenuity and courage would endure. The baby stirred in the incubator, tiny fingers reaching out. Alex felt a sense of hope in that simple gesture. Life, resilience, and the power of human spirit all intertwined. Kale's voice interrupted softly. "All systems secure. No anomalies detected. For now, the station is safe." Alex nodded. "For now," he echoed, knowing full well that in space, challenges never truly ended. But tonight, humanity had triumphed. The saboteur remained contained, justice on its way, and the station's crew ready for whatever might come next. And in that victory, Alex felt a truth he would never forget. Humans are capable of greatness, even against impossible odds. As the stars stretched endlessly outside the observation window, Alex made a quiet vow. Whatever came next, he would meet it head-on. Humans would continue to adapt, to innovate, and to prevail. And with that, Alex, Lena, and Kale allowed themselves a moment of quiet triumph, knowing they had proven something timeless. No matter how advanced machines or enemies might become, humanity's spirit was unbreakable. The orbital city continued its silent orbit around Earth, unaware of the human triumph that had unfolded within it. But Alex knew, and Lena knew, and Kale knew, humans had won today, and they would continue to win tomorrow. For as long as humans could think, act, and adapt, there would always be hope, ingenuity, and the unshakable certainty that humanity could face anything, even the stars themselves.